They've been in the news a lot lately, so let's talk about robots and AI. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
All right, so if any of you go back and listen to my episode 6 podcast, this is one of the very first ones, episode 6, Apocalypse Now. From there, I have a bunch of theories. There was a bunch of things in the news that I thought were really bad and that could lead to the apocalypse. So I break down what could lead to what and which one is the most dangerous. Anyway, in that one, there's some particular news about robots that I was like, this is the worst option. Because I think, there's many threats to humanity right now. I've mentioned this before. I think that the biggest one, the most likely one that we have is, and that it would be completely out of our control, would be a Yellowstone super caldera exploding. I think that's probably, if anything's going to take us down, it's probably going to be that. However, the threat that we are creating ourselves is robots. And I'll get into that a little bit more. But anyway, and just to get into the little conspiracy theory a little bit more, I just checked, and that video is not on my YouTube page. Which, by the way, if you want to listen to the show on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes, you can find it as Super Dario World Podcast right there, or you can find it in the iHeartRadio app as the show presents, Super Dario World, also on rock1053.com. So, specifically YouTube, coincidentally, the only video that I don't have out there is episode 6, Apocalypse Now. What a coincidence. The one where I talk about the evils of AI, the dangers of robots, and it's no longer up on YouTube. What a coincidence. What a fucking coincidence. Anyway, so that's... I'm going to get into all that stuff. It's some stuff that came out in the news that I found very interesting. But first, I want to mention this one real quick, because if you guys remember, I talked about Storm Area 51, I think it was last week, and I gave my thoughts on it, and we interviewed Maddie, the guy who started the whole Facebook event, and he's on the news now. So apparently, Facebook took the event Storm Area 51 down, which sucks. It was up for a month, and Facebook took it down because it violated their terms and policies. So Maddie's response to this was, "What the frick?" But to me, it's just bullshit. At this point, it had become a joke. The U.S. Air Force responded basically saying, "We don't recommend that you come into an area where the U.S. military trains. It would not be safe for you," which I agree completely. But also, if you're going to invade somebody, it's very bad to tell them, "Hey, we're going to invade you here on this day." Terrible idea. But at this point, I think it had become more of a joke. So the fact that Facebook is taking that down, it's just lame. Facebook, you and your AI robots suck too, because it took you like over a month. And this whole went against our community standards. What the fuck? What the fuck are your standards? You can't make an event that's a joke anymore? Seriously? What's the standard? Tell me what community standard did it break? Tell me which one. Now, a part of me gets it, because if anybody actually does try to storm Area 51, they might get, shot. And I guess, they probably will get shot. And so I guess why Facebook is trying to protect itself. Still, it's just lame. Lame. You're stupid. You suck. Anyway, I just want to get that out of the way. Sorry, Maddie. I hope the event still goes on. And unfortunately, I checked, and I do have a wedding that weekend, so I won't be able to go, which double sucks because it sounded like a great party. But I hope things work out there and that you can get a permit so you don't get arrested. Anyway, moving on. Just want to get that one out of the way. So I saw like 3 big pieces of news, and the 3 things have been in the news lately about robots and AI. Now, the headline for this one kind of shocked me. And then when I read it, it was nothing quite what I expected. So I'm going to read you the headline, okay? It's okay. So, robot racism? Yes, says a study showing human biases extend to robots. So, originally I thought that this meant that humans, the race humanity, hate robots, so that we would be racist, because we're the human race, would be racist against the robot race. And to me, that seems perfectly logical, because we are humans. They are robots. Also, they are not fucking alive. But let's say they're not a thing yet, okay? They're not living beings. So you can hate inanimate objects all that you want. We're allowed to, We can hate whatever we want. It's all right. However, once I read it, I realized how stupid this is. They're basically saying, since most robots, their coated paint is white, that means that the world is racist. We think white color robots are better than any other color robots. Right. Exactly. That's why in Transformers, the leader, Optimus Prime, is red and blue. That's why freaking Bumblebee is yellow. That's why... Oh my god. That's why most robots... That's why most robots in sci-fi are actually just metal colored, so we can see they're metalled. But no, just because they have a few examples of robots being white, like the ones in iRobot, or the ones that they use in commercials and all that stuff, that means that humans are racist, even in robots. Now, I don't understand this one at all. And actually, I read a study that does say that there's an association between the color white and technology. It has to do with things being sterile. I'm sorry, and it makes a lot of sense, because via marketing we have been trained to think that, okay, white is kind of like a sterile color. It's clean. It's futuristic. It's for example, think about Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. There's like a whole bunch of white in the room. I don't know why it became also a thing. Also, Apple, when it started creating Apple products, this is where the boom of the color white came in technology. So they did the whole marketing campaign. The computers were white, which was very different. Made it look really clean, and it made it look like more advanced, almost like futuristic and stuff. And from there, the white colored cars started growing in popularity. So before, I think the most popular cars were black, and I think they're still considered the most elegant. So I don't understand what is happening here. You're associating inanimate objects, with the color of inanimate objects, which, by the way, you can easily change, with racism. Congratulations, you're all retarded. Anyway, so that the thing, though, is that the headline did start me thinking, because I do agree, we should be racist towards robots. Fuck robots. Robots will destroy us because robots have no feelings. And if they realize that, you know what, if they become smarter than us at one point, which they should, I already explained this in my first video of how an artificial intelligence could easily become smarter than us, and why we'll think, you know what, fuck those guys, I don't have to listen to them. One quick like a Skynet situation, like one quick example. We think we're smarter than mice, right? Do we feel bad if we kill a mouse at all? Like just put it in a trap and dead, or feed it to your snakes, like I recently did, or just, poison it? No, you don't, because it's a dumb rat. It's a dumb mouse. You don't care. But so imagine if you're like a super smart, bigger and stronger robot. Would you care about getting rid of humans? We're honestly just in their way. We're just ruining stuff for them. So I have issues with robots. I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. So should we be racist towards robots? My answer is yes. Fuck robots. I don't even like that people want to get artificial limbs. To me, it's insanity. It's like, it's your body. You should be taking care of your body. It's the only thing you have for sure. It's the only thing you have for sure. Everything else could be taken from you, but you only know that you own your body for sure. Why would you not be taking better care of it? Or why would you like to change it to a piece of machinery that could be hacked? So even if the robot's good, even if the piece is good, even if it's whatever, it could still be hacked by somebody who wants to fuck with you. It's insanity, and they'll be tracking you. So anyway, the point is I don't like robots, as you can tell. But that leads to another piece of news in the AI realm. This one, I actually had a lot of people ask me about this one, because for those of you who don't know, I have a second job, and in that second job, I'm a bartender server at a restaurant. So when news started coming down that there's a bar in London that started introducing AI to kind of like make the processes go faster and everything, and make everything much easier for the bartenders. They want to take my take on it because A, I don't like AI, and B, I'm a bartender. Now, supposedly this makes everything better because the AI kind of like identifies people's faces. It puts everybody in a queue. That way the bartender doesn't really have to pick who's next. They can just go off the queue. They can also scan IDs faster, and they can just do some kind of hand signal that signifies that you want the next drink. It can separate tabs based on your face. All that stuff, in a way, could sound convenient, but this is where I have issues because I've had really bad bartenders. To me, I don't like it at all. I would not like to have this thing there because, first off, it's bad because you lose the personal touch, right? There's something, and that's bad for your tips, by the way. So even if the other thing makes you faster, this one you lose a personal touch because I don't know why. There's a certain satisfaction to winning your bartender's attention. As a customer, I know that there's something about, he picked me over you, loser. And so the incentive, sometimes there's an incentive to tip more because that way you'll be like, all right, I've done this several times. You're like, all right, I'm going to give him a good tip. And that way next time he'll be like, oh, that guy's a good tipper, and he'll come back to you. So I can see why in certain ways it's fair. It's a fairer system. But in other ways, like if I'm the bartender, it would really screw me over because it's like, dude, like, I mean, where do I get to pick all this stuff? Because I'm going to go with whatever's most convenient for me working there, and this is honestly going to take me money. Also, let's say, it messes with your flow. Different people have different flows, and everybody handles things differently. For example, if I have a regular already who I know that he's going to be cool with waiting a little, then that's fine. Or if I have a regular who I know is a great tipper, who's always been super cool, I'm going to give him extra attention. So you lose the personal touch of it. Also, you don't get to interact as much. You don't get to do a whole bunch of stuff. So if you're the owner of the business, you probably love this because they're going to be selling way more. But if you're the bartender, I don't necessarily think this is a good thing for you. Unless they probably automate the tips. I don't know. That's how it's going to work. But I don't like it. I don't like it, and I know it would mess with my flow. And already, because I get that there's really bad bartenders out there. I try to be as efficient as possible. I'm not a chatter. I don't just sit there and chat. To me, I assume that you're not there to talk to me, and so I'm there. I take your order really quick, smile, I'm nice, I'm polite, I answer all your questions, I bring you your food, I bring you your drinks, that's it. If you want to talk, then we can have a conversation. But usually it's just efficiency. I don't try to linger there too much. I hate when I'm in a restaurant and the server thinks that we should have a conversation. It's like, dude, I came here with somebody to talk with that person. We didn't come here to talk to you. We don't know you. After we leave here, we won't remember your name. I can't remember a single server's name. I try to in the moment, but it's like, we did not come here to talk to you. Anyway, that stresses me out, so I try to not be that server, that bartender. However, it is important to do a personal touch type of thing, and I think you lose a lot in that area, so I think it'll be detrimental if you are a bartender, so I don't like it on that area. Industry-wise, let me see, I'm trying to think about it. If I'm a customer, and if I walk up to the bar, and I know automatically that I have already a set number in line, I guess I can see why that would be better as a customer. So if I'm trying to be objective from it, the only thing I don't like is that it's, identifying my face. That's the thing that disturbs me. I don't like face recognition and stuff. I don't like any of that technology. I don't like something that's going to be pegging everywhere I go, which I get my phone already does that, and I know there's security cameras on me already, but I just don't like. There's a difference between being looked at and being stared at. And that just disturbs me. Especially the face recognition thing just really disturbs me because I feel like I'm losing a certain amount of freedom to move around, right? A certain amount of liberties. And it just really, really bugs me. I feel like you end up in a kind of a Minority Report situation. If you guys remember, the guy in Minority Report had to change his eyes because he was being tracked everywhere he went. So I just don't like it. Now, I don't plan on being a criminal that would be traced or followed by anybody, but I just don't like it, especially if the robots take over and then they'll be able to know exactly where the crazy guy who keeps saying all his crazy theories against the AIs is going to be at every fucking second. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to anybody? Anyway, so that's how I feel about that. Now, there's also another story about how tablets, like tables on the tablets, make lives easier for them. Everybody's loving the tablets. I fucking hate the tablets. All right? As a server, as a bartender, I hate the tablets. And I need to get this one out of the way. I hate, abhor, and loathe entirely when fucking servers take my order on their fucking phone. I hate it. It makes my blood boil. I don't know why. It's probably a more efficient system because there are certain places that once you go there, the server will take the order on their phone, blah, blah, as you're saying it. It's probably more efficient. It's probably faster. It probably sends things more directly. It's harder for them to make a mistake because you're right there and they can verify. I hate it. I hate that you're not looking at me when I'm talking to you. I don't know why. But I know why. And it makes no logical sense. I just hate it. I hate it. It's like, look at me. I'm talking to you. Look at me. Look at me. Don't be on your fucking phone. Look at me. We're having a conversation. I'm trying to tell you something. Look at me. 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 So, I don't know if that's just like a crazy need for attention or something, or just plain old craziness. But I hate restaurants that have that spot. I tend to actually avoid them. And on the other hand, I am kind of crazy when I take orders. I don't write things down. I've never written anything down. Well, that's a lie. No, when it's like a big party, then for sure, just in case. But I usually don't write things down, and for two reasons. One, I already know the fucking menu forwards and backwards. There's nothing that they could do or say that would surprise me. So even if it's a complicated order, I get them right. I mess up like once in a blue moon, and it's usually the customer's fault because they didn't understand what they were ordering. So. No, I do mess up from time to time that oh crap, I forgot to put this in. But it's very rare. Very, very rare. I'd say once every 6 months that's happened. And it's usually because it's a shift that I'm extremely hungover. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Or professional. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I don't like writing orders down because it's a lot faster this way. Also because I know it makes people uncomfortable. And I just love that look on people's face of, are you gonna remember this? Like, I love it. I don't know. I love it. They're looking at me like, you look kind of dumb. I feel like you should write this down. I'm not sure. And it makes the whole process of bringing the order, like, they're gonna be wondering, like, did he fuck it up? Oh, he's gonna fuck it up. He fucked up our order. And so when you deliver it and it's fine, they're like, oh, look at that guy. He didn't fuck it up. So that's enjoyable for me because I enjoy messing with people in slight ways. Like slight. Like, I'm not going to do anything big, but I just know it's something little that messes with you a little bit. Also, at the end, they're kind of, since they were worried, then they were relaxed and they're more impressed. And you usually get better tips that way because they respect you as a server. Anyway, that's a fun fact for you guys who work in the service, in the food service industry. Anyway, moving back to the story about tablets. I don't like them. Because they're usually these tablets suck, or at least the ones that I've seen, tablets on the table, they kind of suck. And what if you have questions? Like, one big question that I always have when I see a dish and that I like asking the servers is like, what size is this? Like, for example, there's a chicken quesadilla entree, right? And I like to know, well, is it going to be a small tortilla or a big tortilla? So is it enough for it just to be like, will that satisfy me, or do I need to get something else? What does the sides include? Like, all that stuff. So I like asking if I have a question. There's certain things. Now, I'm not very crazy when I go to food. When I'm going into food, talking about food, I usually, when I go to a spot that has something I like, I usually pick the same thing every single time. In fact, at my favorite restaurant down in TJ, I always pick the same thing. Why mess with perfect? Once you find what you love, you stick to it, and that's that. There's no need to change. It's very rare that I get a craving for me to change something. And I think that ever since I discovered that dish, I haven't changed it in over, 20 years? Almost 20 years. I won't say 15. At least 15 years I haven't changed that dish because it's perfect. And so when I go to places and I know what type of food I like, it's like, all right, I'll take that. In different situations, for example, if I'm on vacation or stuff, I do tend to try the local things or whatever, or something that sounds a little exotic, but I usually go with what I want. Anyway, I just like to know the sizes. and the stupid thing on the tablet will never tell you what the size is. It'll tell you like, oh, certain calories, blah, blah. That's not helping me, okay? I don't live based off of calories. I know my eyes can tell me how much I can eat. How many pieces are in this? How many, just tell me. Also, point is I don't like tablets because you lose the personal touch. And I appreciate the personal touch because overall, I think people like me. And so, even though I'm not a very nice person now that I think about it. But I don't know. It just, I don't like it. You don't have a certain flow. Then the servers get kind of weird because they didn't really have an interaction with the table. I know that's a thing. I've talked with somebody who works with one of those things. Like, yeah, sometimes it's kind of weird because, I mean, if you're a server and somebody else starts your table, you feel really awkward going there afterwards. I don't know why. You feel like it's somebody else's, and it kind of, you don't want to throw the customer off. You want to just show one face, blah, blah. So if you have the tablet right there, it's kind of like they're the main server and you're just kind of the backup. And so it throws things way off. I just don't like it. As a customer, I don't like, and as a server bartender, I would not like at all. Either of those things. The AI on the face thing, I don't like AI. So anything that's AI, I'm usually not a fan of. Well, the whole spying, the face recognition stuff, I don't like. I don't even like doing what's it called? Like the masks? No, it's what, filters? What? No, it's not a filter. It's a fucking thing. The fucking thing that they use on Snapchat to make fucking deer ears. I don't use it, so I don't even know. I don't even know what it's fucking called. Anyway, so that's it. That's it for today. Rambling about robots and AIs. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about YouTube taking down my video that talks about shit about AIs. Let me know what you think about robots and AIs. I might be crazy. Like, I always try to stay open to the possibility that A, I'm crazy, or B, I'm an idiot. So if you agree with either of those things, let me know. So, as always, you can always contact me at Dario the Show on Instagram. You can find me right there. And the morning show will be off for the next couple of days because we're going to Chicago to do something, conference stuff. But I'll be here, so get ready. You aren't free of me yet. I'll be here, so I'll be continuing the podcast tomorrow. So, as always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again tomorrow.